Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-NextGen, Avionics says portable electronic conspicuity repels drones. Dreamchaser moving toward first flight. And Anduril CCA to have first flight in October. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to the Aero-News Network's Airborne-NextGen program, a weekly news program covering the next generation of flight, from electric power to vertical lift, uncrewed vehicles, and everything in between. Let's get into today's stories. Avionics says portable electronic conspicuity repels drones. The FAA has proposed the Part 108 UAS Rule for BVLOS drone ops under 400 feet AGL that requires drones to be equipped with ADS-B in and to yield the right-of-way to crewed aircraft transmitting on ADS-B out. However, many aircraft fly below 400 feet AGL, such as ag aircraft, seaplanes, vintage planes, ultralights, powered parachutes, gliders, and balloons. Most of those types of aircraft are unable to accommodate a permanent ADS-B out installation. As a solution, the FAA supports the use of a new type of device it calls portable EC, or electronic conspicuity. It broadcasts on ADS-B out so other aircraft, including drones equipped with ADS-B in, can detect and avoid the aircraft. Avionics has put together a new pilot awareness and portable EC hub website to inform pilots how portable EC might offer solutions. 1. See and be seen. A portable EC device transmits ADS-B out, making your aircraft visible to other aircraft. 2. Low cost and quick to deploy. A compact battery-powered unit typically costs under $1,000 and requires no costly airframe modifications. 3. Private and anonymous. An EC device does not transmit a signal that is traceable to your aircraft. The best part? It cannot be misused for landing fees. 4. Extends right-of-way protection. And 5. Proven, portable, and easy. A handful of countries have been using such devices for years. After the break, drone operator sentenced after hitting a firefighting aircraft. Welcome back. Now for some shorter stories in our Next Gen Minute. Drone operator sentenced after hitting a firefighting aircraft. A 57-year-old man has been sentenced to 2 weeks in prison and 1 month on home detention following a January 2025 incident that left a gaping hole in the wing of a Super Scooper firefighting aircraft. He also agreed to pay restitution to the government of Quebec to cover the costs of the repairs that followed. Peter Tripp Aikman pleaded guilty earlier this year to the unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft, which is deemed a federal Class A misdemeanor. Tracking earthquake-induced tsunami in real time with satellites. NASA's Guardian, or GNSS Upper Atmospheric Real-Time Disaster Information and Alert Network, taps into signals from global navigation satellite systems such as GPS and others to detect distortions in the signals caused by pressure waves in the atmosphere generated by a tsunami. The system demonstrated its viability after a magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula in eastern Russia. The quake triggered a tsunami, forming a surge of water that in turn sends pressure waves propagating upward to the topmost layer of the atmosphere, the ionosphere, that distorts GNSS signals. Army cuts thousands of aviation positions to make room for drones. The U.S. Army recently confirmed its plans to thin out its active-duty aviation ranks, cutting 6,500 positions as it phases in unmanned systems. The changes are slated to begin in the coming months and continue through fiscal year 2027. Currently, about 30,000 soldiers serve in aviation roles ranging from pilots to support crews. By the time the cuts are finished, roughly 1 in 5 of those positions will be gone. Peraton pitches FAA for ATC modernization prime-integrator role. Peraton announced its commitment to working with the FAA and is pursuing the role of prime-integrator for the agency's brand new air traffic control system project, seeking to completely transform, update, and upgrade every aspect of the system to bring it into line with modern requirements. Peraton remains its uniquely positioned to serve as the FAA's prime integrator and will deliver a rapid transformation by bringing a holistic approach that does not have to rely on the performance of legacy suppliers or deal with bias in selecting technology options. That was our Next Gen Minute. Now back to the rest of the news. Dreamchaser moving toward first flight. Sierra Space announced it has made a strategic adjustment for its Dreamchaser spaceplane, saying its first flight will be a free flyer demo mission to validate technology and deliver crucial data to NASA. The approach gives the company flexibility to address national security challenges while also advancing the vehicle's capabilities for NASA and commercial customers. Sierra Space is focusing its efforts on getting Dreamchaser prepped for its first flight, with the target date of late 2026, when a launch vehicle would be available. The company has worked with NASA to reach a mutually beneficial agreement that provides flexibility for the spaceplane's first flight. It intends to demonstrate capabilities for both NASA's ISS resupply missions, as well as future commercial low Earth orbit destinations. Doing so will also make Dreamchaser available as a national asset for national security and defense demonstrations. Sierra Space says Dreamchaser's adaptability as an orbital hypersonic spacecraft and rapid deployment are critical to the nation's priorities and threats. Its capabilities as an autonomous commercial spaceplane enable reusability, fast turnaround time, and cost-efficient operations for space missions. After these messages, Anduril CCA to have first flight in October.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. Anduril CCA to have first flight in October. According to U.S. Air Force Secretary Troy Meinck, the collaborative combat aircraft made by Anduril Industries, quote, should fly in the middle of October, but provided no other details about ongoing testing of the drone. Anduril's YFQ-44A is waiting on final refinements of its software before its first flight. DM Salmon is Vice President for Air Dominance and Strike for Anduril. During a Monday briefing at the Air and Space Forces Association's Airspace and Cyber Conference, she said, quote, the goal is to also get to a semi-autonomous first flight, which means takeoff and landing will be done via push of a button. There's no stick and throttle. It will be able to execute the actual first flight profile pre-planned using autonomy software on the vehicle, end quote. Although the first flight of the YFQ-44A missed its summer target, Salmon said the company is still well ahead of the program schedule for the milestone. Both Anduril and General Atomics are building autonomous drone prototypes for the first increment of the CCA competition, and both had set summer 2025 for their first flights. General Atomics' YFQ-42A became the first to fly in July and raised questions about the timing for Anduril's inaugural flight. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.